In this video, we're going to talk about and explore what type of leader are you? So often we think about leaders, we see leaders, but we don't decide on purpose what type of leader we want to be. So the question is, what type of leader are you? Or what type of leader do you want to be? Have you thought about it? Do you currently consider yourself a leader? And if I ask you that question, can you tell me? Let's pretend that we're in an interview and I want to know more about you. And I'm like, tell me about your leadership style. What would be the answer? That is the challenge I want you to accept for this lesson or for this video. I want you to decide what type of leader you are, and I want you to write it down. I want you to know specifically what that is. And I want you to do that in two ways. In one way, I want you to talk about what type of leader you are if you are not leading people. So day to day, if you're not currently leading people, but you still can be a leader, I want you to think about what type of leader you are from where you sit right here, right now. And then on the other side of that paper, I want you to decide what type of leader you are when it comes to leading people directly, leading a team, leading a project where you are responsible for the people and the outcome. How do you want to show up as a leader? What would you want those people to say about you? What do you want the people that you work with to say about you? What makes you legendary? Right? And listen, it's not so much important right here, right now, that you exhibit all of those traits today. That is not what we're going for. That is not what it takes to be legendary. What it takes to be legendary is a willingness to put yourself out there, a willingness to step up, a willingness to lead and own the way that you lead. And I want you to know that being a legendary leader means that your style is your style and you own it. You've accepted it, and you accept the good and bad that comes with it. An example of that would be Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. They are both considered legendary leaders, but they both were still human. They both still had trials and tribulations to overcome, but they both still led with the information that they had, being the best people they knew how to be at that time. And they both had really different styles, but those styles were their own. That's what I'm talking about here. What is your leadership style? Does it change from day to day when you're an individual contributor to when you're leading people? Are there skills that you need to cultivate in there? You can't cultivate them if you don't know what they are, because you don't know what type of leader you want to be. So that's what we're going to do as a part of this challenge. I'm going to challenge you to really own, I want to be this type of leader. And that doesn't have to look like anyone else. For me, I'm the type of leader that holds people accountable. And I don't necessarily care who's not holding people accountable. Now, holding people accountable doesn't mean that I'm going to call people out or make people feel shame or judge them. But it does mean that I'm going to let people know that I have an expectation, that I operate in excellence, so that they can decide if I'm the best person for them to work with, or if my team is the best team for them to be on. Right? Because now we both can make informed decisions, because that's how I want to show up as a leader. And that is something that I'm committed to, whether people like it or not. And I'm okay with that. Right? So what is your style? Now, let's talk about what's kind of coming up for you when I talk about leadership. Now, so many of us, at one point, myself included, will tell me, so many of you will tell me you don't want to lead because you don't want to deal with people. So if that is your frame of mind, is that why you don't want to lead? And I've coached lots of clients to this. I want you to tell me about people. I want you to journal. You can come to a coaching session and let's talk about the people. Because here's the thing, the people are going to be the people, whether you lead them or you don't. And you have more dominion, the ability to change things when you're leading the people versus when the people are trying to lead you, but they don't know how to lead, right? So you're not escaping the human experience of dealing with people by not choosing to lead. Did you hear me? You are not escaping people when you choose not to lead. You're escaping your ability to make an impact in the way that you truly desire if you're honest with yourself. And I know this because you're in this community. So it tells me that you want more for yourself and you want more in your career. And for the majority of us, that includes leading. And maybe you don't want to manage people directly, but that doesn't mean that you can't lead from where you sit and be an example of what's possible. All right. So, what I want you to do is I want you to write down what type of leader you are, and I want you to bring it back to the group and make a post about it. Let us know what type of leader you are and maybe any aha moments you had so that we can talk about it and so that you can start to implement those things. I'll see you soon.